Hello, dear friend. You're watching your weekly astrology horoscope. We are starting the week with a brand new lunar cycle, which is coming right after the solar eclipse that's happening on Saturday. So, what that means is that overall the energy should be growing and rising, and more or less it's time to take action in the outer world. So there will be other energies to support us as well for processing and internalizing the experience. But it's important to pay attention and to recognize what's happening in the outer world and to be engaged with this world, to take some action. Something quite interesting is that there will be an exact conjunction between Venus and Pluto around the end of the week. And first of all, this aspect is pretty intense. It may bring our focus to some difficult or intense emotions or processing, even some kind of traumatic emotional experiences. This can also be very healing and transformational for our emotions. But that's just one side of this. The other side is that this aspect is not happening just once. This aspect is about to happen 3 times because Venus is about to turn retrograde. So, this is something that we are going to need to re experience and maybe even go deeper and deeper and deeper. And of course, this is also a preparation for the upcoming Venus retrograde cycle, which is starting within a week or so. And we are also having actually a webinar which will be dedicated to Venus retrograde. So if you want to join us, you can check the links below. And if you are a Mars Stars member, you will have an invitation. So you can also sign up for a membership and you will be invited to the webinar as well. So this Venus retrograde cycle, of course, is about emotions. It's about looking at things and reevaluating things from a different perspective because Venus is not just the planet of love. Venus is also the planet related to our own values and the way we evaluate things. So, this could be an important theme during this week, especially by the end when we have this exact conjunction between Venus and Pluto. And it's really time to look deeper and not just look, but also experience things and contain things, as they say in Jungian terms. So, emotions will be pretty accentuated during the week. Plus, there will be some Neptune energy. We are having a square between Mercury and Neptune. At the end of the week, there will be the Sun squaring Neptune. The Moon will be in Pisces part of the week. So, the emotional component right now is very important. With that being said, let's get a little bit more specific and just get through each day one by one. So on Monday, we are starting the week in a very active, dynamic, and I would say potentially productive way. There will be a sextile between Mars and Pluto. Mars is currently in Scorpio, so a very powerful, very resourceful position for Mars. Plus, Mars is one of the rulers of this sign, and the other one is Pluto, the other planet which is part of this aspect. So, this is a very intense and powerful combination, which can help us to take some action, to feel energized and motivated and encouraged to do difficult things, especially when we know that they are also important. There is courage and braveness and also certain level of patience. Typically, Mars is not a patient planet, but Mars in Scorpio is more patient than usual. And when we bring also the Pluto Capricorn energy that's coming, we can really have the necessary stamina and consistency and patience to do the important things. The moon will be in Capricorn on Monday, which supports the same topics, focusing on important things, things that require patience, things which are not necessarily easy, but we still know that we need to take care of them. On Tuesday, the situation is very different. There will be a square between Mercury in Sagittarius and Neptune in Pisces. So, in this combination, Mercury is essentially very weak. Mercury in Sagittarius doesn't have the typical Mercury qualities. On the other side, Neptune in Pisces is very resourceful. This is like the full color that Neptune can bring. And what that means is that Neptune will dominate this combination. And we may find ourselves a little bit confused. We may forget about something. We can get easily distracted by whatever people, noises, thoughts, memories, you name it. Plus, it's also possible that we can lose concentration and even motivation. In communication, things may also be complicated. There might be difficulties with understanding each other clearly and accurately. And when it comes to our plans, we may notice that things are not going according to what we have expected. On the other side, this aspect can be very positive for creative work. So, if you need a little bit of your intuition or creativity or imagination, the day can be especially positive. But remember that you need to put effort. So, the square requires putting some effort. And it's also interesting that the moon will be in Aquarius on Tuesday. And this supports a more innovative, original approach, doing something different. So if Monday is about doing the more routine stuff and being patient and hardworking, Tuesday is kind of the opposite. We need to focus on creative work, intuition, imagination, and to do things in a different and original way. On Wednesday, we will have another Mars aspect. Mars, of course, is still in Scorpio and will square Jupiter in Aquarius. And what we may experience is, first of all, overwhelm. We may try to do too many things at the same time. This is the specialty of Jupiter, trying to accomplish too many tasks, too many goals, and not leaving yourself enough space to actually accomplish whatever you are planning. So what may happen is that we might exaggerate or overestimate what we can accomplish. So it's nice to get through your list and look at this from maybe a more realistic perspective and define properly which are your real priorities, because sometimes when we have such aspect, we may feel like everything is so important. We just cannot reschedule. We cannot leave something for another day. It's all 100% important. So that's really true. This could be more the Jupiter talking. So you might want to get through your list and be a little bit more realistic, because it's possible that you may also not evaluate how much time certain task is going to take. But on the positive side, such an aspect can increase your motivation, ambition, desire to accomplish things, to do things. So it's an energizing aspect, really. The moon is still in Aquarius on Wednesday. So we have the creative approach, the innovation, which can help us. And also, this could be a nice time for socializing with people and focusing on some kind of group projects. And yet, keeping in mind that we may need to be careful with that because of this Mars square Jupiter aspect. Now, let's move to Thursday. Thursday is an interesting day because there will be two creative aspects. One is a big quintile between the Sun and Uranus. The other one is a quintile between Mars and Saturn. What's the common thing between the creative aspects is that they are bringing changes. They can allow us to make new choices, and there could be something unpredictable. Plus, in this case, there is also Uranus involved with the Sun, so it's very likely that there will be something unplanned, something that we need to be more flexible about, something which can surprise us, but also something that can liberate us, something that can open the mind and allow us to be more creative. On the other side, the Mars Saturn quintile is helpful for being productive and taking care of things, taking care of your responsibilities, but probably using a new approach or trying something different. So we don't necessarily need to stick to, tradition and the way things have always been. We are more than welcome to try new things because this may help us to be even more productive. And on Thursday, the moon will be in Pisces. So more or less, we need to trust our intuition. Things might be a little bit slower. We may need a little bit more rest or to take care of our emotional well being. Next, we have Friday, which comes with three minor aspects, which are pretty interesting. So, Mercury is having a semi square with Pluto, and this can make us focus a lot on certain idea or ideas. So Pluto, when it triggers the mind negatively, can bring some kind of obsessions like focusing on something and not being able to think about something else. So it's possible that there could be an idea or a project that may consume our whole attention, which of course may turn into something positive if you manage to do something about it and solve something or explore or learn. Of course, this may also be something nice. The other aspect that Mercury is having is, sorry, actually, I need to correct myself. So, my mistake. The semi square is with Saturn. So, what that means is that there could be some kind of delays or something that can make us feel a little bit stuck or something that can feel like a blockage. And actually, the aspect between Mercury and Pluto is a positive one. It's a semi sextile. So it's still the same planetary combination, but the aspect is positive. So, what that means is that through going deeper and exploring things and focusing, we may find the solutions. So, this is really interesting. There is a challenging aspect between Mercury and Saturn, and a positive one between Mercury and Pluto. And as a combination, this means that at first we may feel blocked. If we look only um, by exploring the forms and the way things look externally, we may feel stuck, overwhelmed, or blocked. But if we go deeper, if we concentrate and explore, we may find solutions. So it's a pretty dynamic combination, really. And one more aspect that Mercury is having is another semi-sextile, so another positive aspect with Venus. So we need to check in with how we feel about things. This can be a great guidance for us. And also, of course, we need to evaluate things properly. So, for some kind of negotiations or expressing feelings, this could be a very nice time. And the moon is in Pisces on Friday as well. So the emotional atmosphere is pretty intense, and we can be more sensitive and intuitive. And overall, we can be more creative. Next, we have Saturday with, I think, the most interesting aspect during this week, which is the conjunction between Venus and Pluto in Capricorn. As I already mentioned, this is only the first time, and we are going to have three of those within the next couple of months. But this, of course, could be like a sign, what you may need to work on, what you need to prepare for in terms of emotions, in terms of career desires and business goals, in terms of financial stuff and investments. All of those themes could be very important, and this might be just the starting point. In terms of emotions, we may feel like something is very dramatic or very very deep, very even difficult in a way. But here comes a great help from another aspect. Again, on Saturday, we are having a sextile between Mercury and Jupiter. And what that means is that through our higher awareness or expanding our worldview or trying to see the whole picture, we may find peace. So of course, it's very important to listen to your heart. That's definitely essential. But at this situation, if we allow ourselves to be controlled by our emotions, this could be like a spiral leading us down, and it's not very healthy. What is important here is recognize the emotions, but bring your awareness without trying to suffocate, the emotions or their messages or whatever needs to happen there, but instead trying to expand and bring the awareness and look at things from a different perspective. So, for learning something, planning something, Saturday can be especially positive. And there is one more minor aspect. Again, Mercury, this time with Uranus, there will be a square and a half, which suggests some kind of change, the need to look at things from a new angle, or also to be open for some kind of surprise. And the moon is in Pisces until 5 p.m. on Saturday, which of course, could bring the expected emotions and sensitivity and creativity. But after 5 p.m., the moon is shifting to Aries. So we may feel more energized and ready to take some action and uh, ready also to be more engaged with the outer world. And finally, on Sunday, we have honestly a little weird combination. So, on one side, the sun is having a square with Neptune. On the other side, the moon will be in Aries. So, such different energies. The sun squaring Neptune increases the sensitivity, emotionality. We may feel a little bit sorry for ourselves. We may feel moody or really too sensitive. We may also be very creative and inspired. On the other side, the moon in Aries doesn't like to, doesn't like self-pity. She could be like, get yourself together and take some action and do something. So it's a little strange. We'll see how we are going to handle with this combination, but there can be a positive side to it as well, which can help us to get this inspiration or creativity or even to recognize some kind of painful situation and then to do something about it and take some action. So, as usual, it's up to us how we are using the energies. So, this is our quick astrology overview of the week. Don't forget to join us for our Venus retrograde webinar. The links are below. You can sign up for the webinar separately or become a Marstars member. And with that, you will also be invited to our webinar. If you have any other questions, you can write a comment below or contact me. There is even my Telegram in the description below, so you can send me an immediate message if there's something you want to ask me or something you need some clarity around. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.